Hey folks, welcome to the NZQA Numeracy 2024 paper from Term 2. If you're joining us for the first time, the way this video works is that I go through each question and let you know what you need to do to get the required outcomes. The best way to watch this video is to pause the video at the start of each question, try the question out by yourselves, and then unpause the video to try and see how I go about answering the questions. Now, just to add to that, folks, a lot of people don't know that this particular YouTube channel exists, so if you could subscribe and share to your wider networks, that'd be amazing. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so for the first question, what we've got here is a tuatara lived about 225 million years ago, and what we've been asked to do, can't write properly today, what we've been asked to do is circle the arrow that shows 225. Now, if you look at the scale here, we've got 0 to 500 million. And I guess we've got to try and figure out how many of each of these little lines. So I'm just going to count them out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I guess 500 million divided by 10, it's going to go up by, so each of those lines are worth 50 million. So this is going to be 450, this is going to be 400, 350, 300, 250, 200, and then we're going to keep going. Now, let's just keep going just to see whether this works or not. I feel like I've missed something here. No, I haven't. There we go. And we're looking for 225, and we know that 225 is between 250 and 200. So we are going to go with the arrow 5. It's part A of this question. Now, part B of this question is saying that tuatara weighs 1 kilogram. The weta weighs 25 grams. How many times heavier is the tuatara than weta? So we're going to take the 1 kilogram. So we're going to take 1 kg. We know that 1 kg is 1,000 grams. And if we do 1,000 divided by 25, it is going to tell us how many times heavier the tuatara is compared to the weta. So I'm going to go into my calculator and just going to go 1,000 divided by 25. Now, I know I'm using the graphics calculator here, folks. Now, you are allowed to use a scientific calculator as well, so it's absolutely fine. So here we have, so we're going to write down 40 times heavier. All right, next question. Now, with this particular question, there is a wide range of answers you could give. My kind of suggestion is that don't just write down the numbers. You've got to kind of give some sort of explanation. And I'm just going to show you here what the minimum number of eggs that could actually hatch and what the maximum is. So if you look at it, we can see that the female tuatara lays 6 eggs every 4 years. So over 10 years, we can say that she has laid 12 eggs, right? That's minimum. So, and if 12 eggs kind of, hatches, then your minimum number could be 12 because you would actually have 6 times 2, which is equal to 12. Now, if you think about it as a max, now the maximum eggs is 10, but because it's every 4 years, you can kind of say that, well, over 10 years, she could potentially have laid 3 lots. And you might be wondering, how's that possible? Like, if you think about it, you could actually have, so it's kind of trying to figure out how many times she lays that eggs over a 10-year period. Now, if you think about the minimum version, so imagine, I'm going to go back to the minimum just to kind of help you out here. So you could have the first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. Now, if it's every 4 years, like let's say in the first 4th year and 8th year, she lays the eggs, and that's why we multiply it by 2. But if she laid her eggs on the first year, so that'll become 1, then 5 is the every 4th year, and 9. So you basically have, like, she could actually have over a 10-year period, she could lay eggs twice in the 10-year period or 3 times. And because we're looking at the minimum and maximum, for maximum, we can actually say it will be 10 times 3. So that means she could potentially lay 12 to 30 eggs is what you could actually kind of say. But you probably would have to write down to, you'd probably need to discuss a little bit more about this little diagram that I've done as to why I multiplied by 3 and 2. So I might just write a little statement that says, over a 10-year period, she could lay eggs twice or 3 times. Therefore, the minimum could be 6. Well, because it's 6 to 10 eggs, we're going with the minimum number of eggs and minimum number of years, number of times she hatches the egg, with maximum number of eggs multiplied with the number of, like, what's the max number of times she'll lay the eggs over a 10-year period. Just wanted to show you folks the schedule. So as you folks can see, we've got 12 to 30 and supported by reasonable calculation. They say the answer may be a single number, but I would always put a range, and it'll also give you kind of reasoning behind it. Some examples. These are some examples of how they got between 12 to 30. And again, they talk about that first clutch laid in the first year. So yeah, otherwise you could also do the averages. So you could actually go 6 divided by 4, which gives you that 1.5 eggs per year. And then multiplying by 10 is 15. Now, again, that's a little bit odd because theoretically you're not getting on average you're getting 1.5 eggs per year. But it depends on when the eggs are being laid. All right, so next question is about how many tuatara were on Little Barrier Island in 2012. So we're looking at 2012. So we've got 2010 at the bottom here and 2015 here. So I guess we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So 11, 12, 13, and 14. And if we look at 2012, I think it's roughly 200. I'll probably go with 200 tuatara. Now, in the answer schedule, they say that they accept a range between 180 and 220. That literally means that they will accept, how many lines are there? I think it's 10. So anywhere between there and there. So it's quite a large range that you could potentially get your answer in. So 200 is the right answer, but they will accept an answer between 180 and 220. So with this question, the question's asking, does the graph suggest that there are now young tuatara on the island? Now the median is 220. Now what we do have is we've got a quite a solid little cluster here, and these were 60 adult tuatara released in 2003. So this is after 10 years. We've got about 31 tuatara left over, but then there's a large group of them that's between 190 and roughly 260. So what you might want to mention is that potentially this right here could be a young tuatara, but we can kind of say a statement that, what can I say, median is 220. So we've got median is 220 and there is a cluster or a group, think however you want to call it. There is a cluster between 190 and 260, which suggests that these are adults. And we can also say the 115, there is a tuatara at 115, which could be a young tuatara, but it could also be just a normal tuatara, which just probably has its tail cut off or something like that. So I might, probably say which could be a young tuatara or an adult tuatara with a short tail. Sorry. Or an adult tuatara with a short tail. So yeah, so to answer back the question, it really doesn't suggest to us that there are young tuatara on the island. Yeah, so probably would say could be not. I don't know. That's the funny thing about stats, isn't it? It's always those kind of weird questions, right? I mean, you can actually write any type of answer, and as long as you justify it, you're pretty much good to go. All right, so next question. Write the letter that shows the location of the island. Where is the island? The island is half the tuatara in New Zealand live on an island 95 kilometers northwest. Now, northwest direction is that. So northwest of Wellington, about 95 k's. Now I have to apologize for this particular question, because what ended up happening was I was using Google Maps, and when I was using Google Maps and then I tried to create the scale on my own, and I kind of stuffed it up a little bit. So as you can see, the original scale, that's actually too small. I'm guessing the scale should be about that much. So from there to there is roughly 20 kilometers. So if we think about 95, I am thinking I should probably, because I know what the answer is, I'm probably thinking like somewhere there. So ideally what you have to do is you kind of have to take that little black line, and from Wellington, you're going northwest direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots, roughly 5 lots. So that's 95 kilometers northwest. So I'm actually looking for the letter D. Now I do again apologize, because I was messing around with the scales and I should have actually used the screenshot of the Google Maps, which I didn't. So, but that's pretty much how you do this question. You take the scale and you can use your fingers if you want, or you can use a ruler. A ruler is the easier one. Take the ruler and then you measure how many centimeters is that 20 k's, and then you kind of like draw let's see if I can show you here. Oh, there we go. So if you look at it, it's like roughly from here to here, just roughly. So it's like 1 unit almost. So if I kind of go there, okay, maybe not. This is probably a worse idea, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's like you kind of like just take the centimeters and then just use that. This ruler it's not an accurate ruler. All right, folks, that's basically question 1. All right, so for question 2, we're creating pattern 5. How many squares would Nicola need in total? Include all squares of different sizes. Trying to actually see how this pattern actually looks like. All right, so that means for every edge, there is another square that's happening. So that means there's going to be another square here, like a little one. Probably another square here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So it should have 31 squares for this particular pattern. Part B of this question, which number of lines shows reflection symmetry in Ariana's? Reflection symmetry. Well, I think the only lines that actually show any kind of reflective symmetry is line 2 and line 5, because line 2 you can fold it in the middle, and line 5 you can kind of fold it in a horizontal way, but everything else there is no line of symmetry. So we're going to have line 2 and line 5. All right, so the next question here, we have humans in this cartoon. Is the bottom of Richie's nose in the right place? Use fractions from both of the diagram and cartoon to explain your answer. So I guess the first thing I want to do is I want to count out how many of these lines I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if you look at the nose is actually at the line 4 out of 12, which is the same as 1/3. So the nose is actually above the line that's 1/3. So I guess you can kind of say yes, it is correct, because 12, you kind of divided the Richie McCaw's face into 12 parts, and then we went, it's above the 4th kind of division, so that's equal to 1/3. So we can actually say agree, and the way we're going to do it is there are 12 divisions and his nose is above the 4th, which is above 1/3. So that's one way of doing this. The other way is, what we can do is we can potentially disagree as well. Now you could potentially disagree as well. The reason you can disagree is because for the human face, nose is on the line, is on the 3rd line, while Richie's is above the 3rd line. And let me show you what I mean by, because the 3rd line is right there, and see how the nose is on the 3rd line, But if you look at Richie McCaw's one, the nose is slightly above the third line, and therefore you can actually potentially disagree as well. All right. Next one, what have we got? We've got which letter shows the correct top view of the sculpture. Now this is a top view. So if you look at the front view and if you kind of imagine it going backwards, then the top view should look something like this, where it's all set up evenly. And so we can say that it's letter E. Next question. So Superman comic sold for, what is it? No, we don't know what it sold for. 1979, the comic sold for $1,000. In 2022, it sold for $2.6 million. How many $1,000 comics can you buy for $2.6 million? So all we've got is $2.6 million, and we're going to divide it by 1,000. So when we do that, we're going to get 2,600. Next one. Again, I did copy this from one of the websites, and let's see if this works. So we've got Tirau, which is Tirau is up there. The map shows the drive taken to Wellington Tirau will take 5 hours and 49. How much time is that rounded to the nearest hour? So 5 hours 49 minutes is rounded up to 6 hours. And that's pretty much it for question 2, folks. All right, so what we've got here is we've actually got 15 liters of water when it's full, and it weighs 15.352 grams. How much does the empty water bottle weigh? Now it says 1 liter of water weighs 15 kilograms. So 15 liters is going to be 15 kgs. And we've got 15.352. So that means if we do 15.352 minus 15, we're going to get 0.352 kgs. Converting that to grams, we multiply it by 1,000. So 0.352 times 1,000. Basically, all that means is the decimal point is going to move 3 lots because of 3 zeros, and we're going to get 352. Now, of course, you can actually use the calculator for it, but just kind of showing you how you can not use the calculator as well. Part B, we've got each of the 3 bottles below holds 1.5 liters. How many 300 ml glasses can you fill from all 3 bottles? So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1.5 liters, which is equal to 1,500 milliliters, because you multiplied by 1,000 to get 1,500 milliliters. And we've got 3 bottles of that. So 3 times 1,500 equals 4,500 mils. And if we do 4,500 divided by 300, that's going to give us 15. So 15 glasses. All right, next question. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and figure out how much more water in kilograms does the adult pig have in their body than the piglet has in their body. So we're going to work out the piglet first, right? Now for the piglet, we've got 75% of 8 kgs. 75% of 8 kgs. So we're going to do that as 75 over 100 multiplied by 8. Doing that in the calculator, we're going to get 6 kgs of water. And likewise, when we do the adult pig, we've got about 50% of 120. So it's 50 over 100 times 120, which is equal to 60 kgs of water. So if we want to find out how much the adult pig has, how much more water the adult pig has compared to the piglet, we're going to do 60 minus 6, which is equal to 54 kgs. Now sometimes one of the answers that you could potentially write is like it's actually 10 times more, since 10 times 6 is 60 as well. But so it depends on how you actually word your final answer. So you could actually say 54 kgs, or sometimes it's accepted to say 10 times more as well. Question D. So question D, what we've got, people pay for the 1 diesel for a month. How much does Cindy pay for each cubic meter of water used? So, okay, so all we got to do is just $35.96 divided by 24.8. Now, if you are wondering, how did I come up with that? Now, have a look at this. The clue is actually given right here. So you've got the dollar amount at the top and the meter cubed at the bottom, and that symbol there is divide, the division symbol, and that's how you figure out the rate. So 3596 divided by 24.8. Now, unfortunately, I do need the calculator for this and possibly the right mode. It's not working for me. Where is it? 30. Oh no, my numlock is not on. 35.96 divided by 24.8. That's going to give me $1.45. So it's going to cost me $1.45 per meter cubed. Moving on to the next one. Now, for this question here, we can kind of see that probably the best one is going to be the shower, and I'll show you folks why. If we go with 2-minute showers, so currently 4-minute showers take 48 liters. So if we do 6 people and over one day, let's say they do 1 shower and at 48 liters. This is for the 4-minute shower. So when we do 6 times 48, we're going to get, so they are using 288 liters of water. But what happens is, if you actually reduce that to 2 minutes showers, then over one day, you would actually do 144 liters. So they actually save 144 liters of water by just dropping it to 2 minutes. So running a washing machine is only like 60 liters. So if they run it every 2 days, they will actually save only 60 liters of water. So I think if you look at the ideas for saving water, doing the shower idea is the best. So we're going to say that reducing shower time is the best option. As with 2-minute showers, Talas Whanau will save 144 liters of water. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, because if they take like an 8-minute shower, then they would have gone 6 people per day. 8-minute shower is 96. So 6 times 96 is like 576. And if they drop from 8-minute to 2-minute shower, then they would do 576 minus 144, which is 432 liters of water. As for the other one, if they drop from 4-minute showers to 2-minute showers, then they save 144 liters of water. So yeah, and that's, actually, to be honest, that's actually quite true. We've noticed a massive decrease in our water bill since we dropped our shower times. Not going to say how long I take the shower for, but it's like, yeah, it is quite a significant difference by halving your times for your showers. All right, so the next question here: average rainfall and temperature for each month of the year. Which season has the highest average rainfall? So rainfall is the green little ones, and we can kind of see it's going to be winter, June, July, August. So June, July, August is right there. So this trio is a lot higher compared to this one here, the March, April, May one. And how you do it is, like, you could actually look at the tips, the 3 tips of those rectangular bars, and you can see that the yellow bars, when you add them all up, it'll be much higher than the green ones there. Maybe I shouldn't have done green. I should have done another color like this, so you can actually see the lines. So the answer for this is going to be winter, and that's pretty much done for question 3. Alright, so with question 4, how many more people attended Polyfest 15 in 2015 compared to 2021? So in 2021, we probably around the 45k mark. 2015, I don't know, I'll probably put this around 85,000 maybe. So 85 minus 45, that's going to give me 40,000 people. And of course the answers, there's a range. You could actually accept a range of between 35,000 to 45,000. Yeah, that's question 4A. Question 4B, do you agree with organizers' comment? The comment was they'll have around 100,000 attendees in 2025. Well, it's one of those questions again where you can agree or disagree. So if I was to agree, you can kind of say trend is rising. And you can also say should return to pre-COVID levels. So that's one thing. You can disagree. You can disagree because you don't know what's happening, but also, what can you say? In 2019 it was cancelled, but yeah, I would. One of the reasons I disagree is because unknown factors, right? You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I really wish we don't have another pandemic, but at the moment we've got like a recession, so that could actually have an impact on people attending events. So yeah, like, so there's a couple of things. So you can never really be sure. So you can actually agree or disagree, and as long as you give the right reasons, and if the reasons are good enough, then you are pretty much good to go for this question. Question C, ticket prices. If you buy a single day pass for 2 days online, you get a 15% discount. 6 adults want to attend both Saturday and Sunday. What will be the total cost for the group? Yeah, the thing is, it's like, I think you'd have to go with what will be the total cost for the group. This is a weird question because the thing is, it doesn't actually ask you for what's the best price. It just says what will be the total cost for the group. So if I look at the $6 passes, right? I've got six $6 passes for 2 days, and that's going to give me $72. Now, because I'm getting a 15% discount on it, I am going to take 15% of 72. So 15% of 72 is $10.80. And if I do 72 take away $10.80, it's going to cost $61.20. Now, this is one of your answers. The other answer that you could potentially say is, if they want to have a flexi pass, then that'll be 6 times 7 times 2. So that's going to be $84 for flexi pass. Or if they have gate entry per day, if they arrive at the gate, then that'll be 6 times 850 times 2. That's 17 times 6. What do we got? 17 times 6. That's going to be $102. So in the answer schedule, they say that exceptions is that they do accept answer of $84 and $102. But yeah, it doesn't say anything about like giving the cheapest option or anything like that. So there we go. The next one, part D, is a Saturday program for the Murray stage. It gives the name of the school, an area. Each school has its same chance of winning. What's the probability of the school from SA area winning? Oh wow, okay, so this whole question here. Now, if you look at it, the SA, I guess it's, I don't know what it is, but let's just see. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5, that's SA. So 5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 schools. So 5 out of 11 as a probability. It's just above 50%, well, just below 50%. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. So we kind of have to look at this and go, which arrow is it going to be? I guess the way you would want to do this is you probably want to have a ruler and you want to find out the halfway point. Now, I'm not using a real ruler here, so I'm going to have to kind of work with this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, roughly 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm thinking it's around the arrow 2 because that's actually under 50%. So arrow 2 is probably the one I'm going to go with for 5 out of 11 right there. All right, next question. Morning timetable for Tongan and Samoan stage, 5-minute break. How much longer in minutes is each performance on the Tongan stage compared to the performance on Samoan stage? So that means, let's have a look. So they've got a 5-minute break. So that's 5, 5, and 5. So that's 45 minutes remaining. So that's going to be 15, 15, and 15. If you look at the Samoan stage, you've got 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. That gives you 35 minutes left over, and you've got 5 acts, so that's 7 minutes for each act. And the question is asking, how much longer in minutes is each performance of the Tongan stage compared to the performance in the Samoan stage. So that's going to be 15 take away 7, which is going to be 8 minutes longer. For the answers, I think in the answer booklet, well, the schedule says that you only need the answer there. You don't need to actually show any kind of working. So that's neat. So basically you could just use the table like how I did and solve that question. All right, next one. 40 performers with the leader in the group. After a while, they formed to formation B. So they went 4 by 10 to 8 by 5. What's the smallest? So here they had a 10 by 4, and then here they had 8 by 5. What's the smallest number of performers from formation A that need to move to make formation B? Okay, so I guess we're trying to figure out how many people that will actually move. But I think if you think about it, these 8 people here, they just move to the back. There we go. So let me just show you again. So if we take these 4, they go here, and then we take these 4, they go here. So that's going to be the smallest number of performance. So yeah, that's going to be 8 students right there. And that's it. And we're done for question 4. All right, so question 5, what we have is area of the rugby field in square meters. So area for a rectangle is base times height. So now 68 times 106. It's going to give us 7,208 meters squared. Next, we have, here are all the players in rugby sevens teams. Their heights are given in numbers. Which 2 players need to swap? So the heights are in tallest to shortest. So Caleb has to swap. So it's just Caleb and Josh, because remember 2 is the same thing as 2.00 and 1.90, 1.80, and if you think about it, like if you get rid of the decimals, you've got 200, 177, 185, 181. So that's how I know that Caleb needs to be swapped over with Josh, because Caleb's 190, Josh is 177. So those 2 boys need to swap over. So Caleb and Josh, both needed in either order. Yeah, I think that would make sense. Caleb and Josh needs to swap spaces. All right, next part of the question. Michaela played 14 minutes of rugby sevens, ran over 100 meters for every minute played. Okay, so if we take the numbers, we go 1500, 1540, and we divide it by 14 minutes, we're going to get how much time, or how much she ran over, how much she ran. Okay, let's just work it out. So 1540 meters divided by 14 minutes gives us 110 meters per minute. So this is one of those awkward questions where you can actually get both answers. You could say it's correct because she said on average ran over 100 minutes per minute. Well, one thing you can say is that she is correct because she is running at 110 meters per minute. The other one you could say is she's actually incorrect because she is running 110 meters per minute and not 100 meters per minute. So yeah, so the way in which you write this particular answer is that you can write both of these answers, but you have to have an explanation. So if it's correct, you can kind of say, look, yeah, she predicted that it's over, she said over 100 meters, and 110 meters per minute is actually over 100 meters. So you can kind of say it like that, or you can say incorrect because yeah, it's 110 and not 100. So yeah, odd question, but both answers are correct as long as you justify it. Now, with this question, I kind of had to stretch the lines to get an angle. And if you think about it, so this particular shape here, that is roughly 90 degrees. So I'd probably put this around like 30 degrees maybe. So that's what I would put it as. The answer schedule actually says accept answers in the range of 15 degrees to 40 degrees. So because I'm looking at this particular angle here, I'm putting it as roughly 30 degrees. All right, next one. So with question E, The thing is, I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter if she chooses heads or tails because there's still a 50% chance of either popping up. Yeah, so I would probably say it won't matter what she chooses. It won't matter what she chooses, as both heads and tails have 50% chance. And that means she could either be 50% successful or 50% unsuccessful. Yeah, and that's pretty much what you kind of need to say for this question here. Next one here. Oof, got a big one here. So rugby, blah, blah, blah. Tables, yep. First and second teams play in the final. The following statement was made. New Zealand has been in the men's final for over 60% of the Rugby Sevens World Cup. So if we look at it, we've got, how many tournaments do we have? We have got 1, 2, let me just highlight that actually, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 tournaments, and out of the 8 tournaments has been in the finals for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 finals out of 8. Now if we do 5 out of 8 as a percentage, that is 62.5%. And I think with this one, it's a straightforward one. We just have to agree, because we can say that, so we're going to say agree, New Zealand has been in 5 out of 8 finals, which is 62.5%, which is greater than 60%, because they do say over 60% of the Rugby World Cups. Now you might be sitting there arguing me with, but what about the previous question when it said over 100 meters? I know, it's frustrating, but I think, yeah, that's pretty much some of the some of the craziness of these kind of questions, right? But folks, I think that's pretty much it for this question paper here. Anyway, folks, so basically just a quick little rundown. If you found this useful, please share it to some of your classmates. I know a lot of year 10s and year 9s doing it for the first time. They don't know that this YouTube channel exists. If you have any questions or comments, drop it in the comment section below. And I'm quite active on Instagram, so if you do have any questions, feel free to go over there and drop some questions there as well. That's all from me, and all the best for your exams for this time around. All right. Hey guys, that is basically it for this video. As always, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and of course subscribe to keep up with the latest content. There should be some playlists popping up. Check them out. Great revision material. And as always, thank you for watching.